If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but are none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Love that poem. Wow.
I do
Great,
too.
great video. So
It
powerful.
is. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Hi, friends.
Hey,
Got some people in chat.
Dewey, who's in
Moxie and
chat?
Herbie.
Herbie and Moxie. So Moxie's not joining
Hey,
us. Yeah, Moxie's not joining us tonight, but hey, Moxie, it's so great to see you.
it is. Glad you're feeling better.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, tonight we were going to talk about the Illuminati, but we have a little change of plans here. So, a lot's been going on in the news, and we wanted to talk about some of that. And I'm just cracking open my sparkling water. So, yeah, we want to talk about Trump had his fourth indictment and Maui, the fires in Maui, crazy stuff. Should we start with Trump or Maui? What do you think?
Oh, wow. Maybe Trump.
Trump?
I don't care. Either way. What should we start with, friends?
Yeah. No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Trump had his fourth indictment, and he did say, "I just need a fourth for for my election."
Yeah.
Didn't he say that?
Got it.
Yeah. So he got it. He knew it was coming. He's not surprised. Uh, the crazy DA did a press conference yesterday, and she's like, you know, he needs to, or they all need to. There's 19 people in the indictment. They all need to show up by August 25th. We have a warrant for their arrest.
Right.
She seemed quite pleased, didn't she?
Yes.
Did you
They
see that?
they want the mug shot, don't they?
They want the mugshot.
They're not going to get it, are they?
I don't know. Do you think they'll do a mugshot and give it to the press?
Oh. I mean, he's going to present, a lot of evidence on Monday and is saying that it's going to be thrown out. Do you have that truth? That he
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
I do. I've got it in my bookmarks. Yeah, I'll pull that up. I need to get my screen shared anyway.
okay.
So, Trump truths. Oh, which one is it?
Uh-oh.
That's okay. I have too many tabs open that I shouldn't have open
He
in my
based
other book.
he says a large, complex, detailed, but irrefutable report on the presidential election fraud, which took place in Georgia, is almost complete and will be presented by me at a major news conference at 11 a.m. on Monday of next week in Bedminster, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Based on the results of this conclusive report, there it is.
Yep. Go ahead. Continue.
All charges should be dropped against me and others. There will be a complete exoneration. They never went after those who rigged the election. They only went after those who fought to find the riggers.
So look at how much we saw after the election. I feel like we've maybe only seen a small percent of what they actually have, because he's like, we have it all, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw, we heard about the pipe bursting, right?
Yep.
And we saw them putting cardboard boxes covering the windows so there was nobody, you couldn't see in. We saw the video of them pulling the boxes out from under the tables, right?
Yep.
I mean, we saw a lot, and then there was nobody there to supervise. You're supposed to have, the other party there to supervise. So none of that was done, and to verify the ballots. But yeah, I think that's the tip of the iceberg.
I think so too. When I read that truth from him, I'm like, oh, they've been building up a report. Obviously, they've been planning because they knew this was coming. But I am so excited about this. You know how we talk about drip, drip, flood?
Yes.
We saw, okay, what did we see? We saw them covering up the windows. We saw them pulling ballots out and recounting ballots over and over again.
Right.
Not verifying signatures, going around what the state requires.
Right.
And then Mike Lindell, with all of his technical research of seeing data from the voting machines literally go over to Europe, over to China, and then back.
Right.
And last summer, just a year ago, he had that symposium.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Do you remember the video that I posted? I actually had to adjust the audio because their audio was a little off. I actually queued that up to play it because I want to remind people. I'm going to show you this video.
Okay, cool.
It shows how the electronic voting system was tallying the votes and how the votes kept going up and down and up and down. And this is just one county.
I remember. Okay.
Do you remember that?
I do. Are you going to play it?
I'm playing it.
Okay, cool.
We need music. We need sound. What you're seeing is how the votes build. Yes, you're seeing them go backwards. Oh, they're going up. Now, the one at the bottom is the mail-in. You can't quite see the label there yet. Whoops. What? Here we go. Wow. Whoop, the mail-ins are all gone. There they are. This is the whole election. In 90 seconds. So we don't need any mail-in votes at all.
Are you dizzy yet?
Okay. So, yeah.
Isn't that an awesome video?
That is classic.
Well, that was literally how the votes were coming in.
Yeah.
and that was a linear timeline. So
And
how do the votes go down and then
they
up and
can't.
then down and go up?
They can't.
They can always just gradually go up. That's it.
Right.
Um,
That was pretty
so
wild.
wasn't that wild?
Healthy one for you in chat. It says, don't forget about Space Force. And that's so true. I
Ooh.
I believe that they watched the whole thing.
I do too.
In a skiff, maybe in the Eisenhower building. I think they watched it. They watched this deal.
I think they watched it too. I've been saying since I have been posting and not lurking, since I've been posting publicly, that I think Space Force is critical in this whole thing.
Mhm.
Not even just the elections, but especially the elections.
Mhm.
But just as far as when Trump says we have it all, I think they're a big part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're totally prepared. They're prepared for everything that's coming at them, and they're actually always 5 steps ahead.
They are. It will be so. I hope we get to know what went on behind the scenes one day.
Yeah.
I don't know that we will though, because they don't want it to happen again. And so if we know what went on behind the scenes, bad actors could plan around that. So
Yeah. I mean,
we'll see what
we'll know what they believe we need to know.
yeah. But
So
it was really, I don't know. Here's the weird thing. Okay, so what do you think about this, Carrie? Before the grand jury even voted to indict, the indictments were leaked. So the grand jury was still in the middle of deliberating.
right.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean,
Well, they hadn't completed it yet. I mean, it wasn't settled, so how could they leak it?
yeah. Like who? Okay, so there's a couple of theories that I've heard.
They already knew what was, yeah.
Well, one is, they already knew and they purposely pushed that out there because they knew how the grand jury would vote. Another theory, though, that I find kind of interesting is maybe there's a white hat on the inside and put it out there so that they wouldn't get their shining moment, because we already knew he was going to be indicted anyway.
Right.
So, like when they have their big press conference announcing,
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
weren't able to really. The same thing kind of happened with Roe versus Wade when that was overturned. It
Yeah.
was leaked ahead of time.
Yeah, it kind of took the wind out of their sails.
It took the wind out of,
Yeah.
out of at least people who were going to be up in arms about it.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know. I find that interesting.
Point.
I don't know why, but it's like
No, it is. It's good.
the clerk has to. Well, here, the DA was in a press conference and was asked about that. We'll play that quick.
Okay.
There was earlier today, there was a fictitious document, according to the Fulton County Clerk's Office, that was circulated online with charges against former President Donald Trump. That fictitious document matched exactly the charges that we now see in this indictment. Can you tell us more about that document leak? Because now you have the former president's lawyers who are saying this is emblematic of a serious problem with your office.
No, I can't tell you anything about what you refer to. What I can tell you is that we had a grand jury here in Fulton County. They deliberated till almost 8 o'clock, if not right after 8 o'clock. An indictment was returned. It was true billed, and you now have an indictment. I am not an expert on clerks' duties or even administrative duties. I wouldn't know how to work that system, and so I'm not going to speculate. Next question.
Oof.
Yeah, you could barely hear the reporter, but he was basically asking about it, about the leak.
Yeah. Well, the fix was in, obviously.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was the state or the AG's office that came back and said, that's a fictitious document. Ignore that document. It's like, and it exactly matched what they ended up uploading.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to read through the indictment, and I wanted to before the show, but we just decided to have this topic late last night, so I haven't had time, but I do want to read through the indictment and maybe talk about that some more sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know if did you get a chance to read through it?
I did. And I mean,
Okay.
it's felony racketeering and conspiracy.
Rico. We almost need a Rico meme. I might have to create a Rico meme.
And there was a funny meme. I'm sorry I didn't send it to you, but
Oh,
it's
it's okay.
it's Rudy, and he's like, Rico. Yeah, I know Rico.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because
You
like
see
he has put how many people behind bars?
Rob, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Rudy's going to be just fine. He's dealt with a lot worse.
Yeah.
But and some of the other ones, oh gosh, I have it here. It's really small.
And I think I have a picture of the list of everybody who was indicted.
We have Sidney Powell in there, Jenna Ellis. A lot of them, I don't know. Are you familiar with them all?
I was trying to find my, I don't know where I put it. I had it available to upload maybe. Oh, let me just open it in the Brave browser again. And I don't know where I saved it, but
I'm looking too.
yeah, sorry guys. Not a lot of prep time for this show, but that's okay. So
Yeah, we've been doing a deep dive into the Illuminati and the Satanic Love. And
we were deep researching that, and then I was really into the Maui stuff last night because there's so much there. I can't wait to talk about that too. But yeah,
I've got the indictment here. This one's interesting. Impersonating a public officer. Who did that?
What was that about?
I have no idea. Forgery in the first degree.
That's why I want to read the indictment.
Yeah,
because one of the things in there, one of the items they list is Trump tweeting. And it wasn't shoot, I wish I would have pulled that up.
Yeah, because they actually got a warrant to get into his Twitter account.
Well,
or
it was a innocent tweet, like saying, way to go for somebody looking into election fraud. It's like they're trying to say that thinking that the election was rigged and there was fraud is illegal, and it's not.
It's not.
No.
It's not. I mean, Al Gore, remember that? I mean, there's been so many Democrats that have contested the elections.
Yeah.
And so, but there's some other ones. Let's see. Solicitation of violation of oath. Okay. False statements and writings. Maybe
that's
that was
going to be wrong because he really believed that it was stolen.
Yeah. Let's see. Conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer.
Another one.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those. That's really interesting. So
yeah, so some of the folks that are included on there is Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, Sidney Powell, John Eastman, Jeff Clark, Jenna Ellis, which Jeff Clark and Jenna Ellis are attorneys. Well, Jeff Clark was working in the Attorney General's office. And there's a whole list of people here. Let's see if I can read them there. It's a little fuzzy here. And we've got, Jeffrey Clark, Jenna Ellis, Ray Smith III. I don't know if that's another attorney. This is why I didn't have time to dig in to see who was all on here.
John Eastman.
He was expecting to be indicted. He was getting ready for that. Michael Roman, David Schaefer, Sean Still, Stephen Lee, Harris Prescott Floyd, Travian Cootie, Sidney Powell, Kathy Latham, Scott Hall, and Misty Hayes. Or Misty Hampton, aka Emily Misty Hayes. So yeah, that's a big list. It's 19 people. And I know Praying Medic was online noticing that there was also a Q post, right? About
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Okay, let me. So it's Q post 541. What 19 people are currently meeting in a safe room, heavily guarded, which that's kind of an interesting thing. And why did everybody leave their phones? So they were in a skiff. Well, that's what you have to do when you're in a skiff. That's kind of interesting that Praying Medic found that. So
yeah. Why does it take the information going public before justice is served? That's what we've been, talking about, because a lot of people are like, why are there no arrests? It's like,
oh, that's a good point. I didn't leave it up to show that. Why does it take information?
This is what they're doing. This is what they're tasked to do. And, Congress can't make arrests, but the people need to get the information.
Yeah.
So
interesting stuff. I just saw this like right before we started the show. And I was uploading some of Carrie's pictures here. Good find. The other thing that came out of the indictment is Hillary was just full of glee. She couldn't even control herself.
Very fancy meeting you.
Oh,
here.
I
It's really
can't
nice having
believe
her.
this.
Yeah, this is not the circumstances in which I expected to be talking to you.
Nor me, Rachel. It's always good to talk to you, but honestly, I didn't think that it would be under these circumstances. Yet another set of indictments.
This is something.
Oh, she's just giddy, isn't she? I think she's going to regret it one day. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. What about the other Q draw? Why don't you pull that out? It's actually a media one. It's interesting because this is the fourth indictment, and
there is no
not
step
a delta, but it is kind of interesting.
That is.
There is no step 5. End. That would be nice.
Crazy.
Right?
Oh, Moxie made a good point in chat. Notice Lynn Wood isn't on the list. Ha ha ha. Now, he was all a part of that whole group.
Interesting.
Lynn Wood is an installed shill, I think. Installed.
Yes.
Definitely installed.
I agree.
Crazy. I think that's super interesting. Yeah.
I'm looking at In God We Trust 15. He has a puke. Hillary is doomed. God wins. It's true.
Yeah, I want to say, gosh, we got folks chatting. I see Mike in there. I see Inspector. Hey, Inspector. Really good to see you. In God We Trust. I'm not sure who's on YouTube. I think we might have a couple on YouTube. Say hi to us in chat, guys. We'd love to hear from you, hear your thoughts. Some reporter asked Trump, are you going to do a plea deal if it's offered? Did you see that clip of him?
No.
Okay, watch.
Is there any Florida delegation for your governor? Is there any chance you take a plea deal in Georgia?
We did nothing wrong. We don't ever take a plea deal.
Yes, sir.
We don't take plea deals. It's a wise guy question.
Are you going to change
It's
this?
a wise guy. We don't take plea deals because I did nothing wrong. It's called election interference. You know what that is? We have a country that's in serious trouble. We have a country that's in major decline. I don't mean decline, I mean major decline. We're going to straighten it out. This group and a lot of people just like this group, we're going to straighten it out and we're going to make America great again. Wise guy. Thank you very much.
As he waves goodbye to the crowd.
Wise guy. We don't take any plea deals. I just love that man. He just is like a fighter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, He is amazing that way, and he just is tireless.
This
But
is what
he
he's doing. This is what he's doing, Carrie. Sorry, so I kept that in my videos because I'm probably going to show it a lot.
Okay, you played that on Saturday. It's been in my head since then.
Has it?
It's going to be in my head the rest of the week.
That's what he's doing, putting on the armor of God there.
Amen.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't you think that it's actually proof that the election, I mean, we already know it was stolen, but the feds and Georgia have both indicted him. I mean,
yeah,
it's just so obvious. And for questioning the election results.
Exactly.
You are allowed to do that. So it's going to get tossed. Sorry, Moxie. I don't think we're going to get a mugshot.
I think we might, but the memes that will come out of that will be interesting.
That's true. It could be worth it.
But honestly, I don't even know. The average American must know that election was rigged. When you see the crowds, right, that Trump had versus Biden had a dozen people with little circles around them, and Trump had 80,000 people.
Yeah.
And still to this day, it's just as strong.
Yeah. It's growing.
Yeah,
it's absolutely growing. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but the independents that are moving, to Trump, and even the Dem voters, that is, right? It's
a lot of people are actually people even in my family that were Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
But look at this crowd, and this is just over the weekend. And then Biden goes to the beach and nobody's crowding around him. Nobody's crowding around him at the beach.
And that was actually over the weekend, and we're going to get to the Maui fire, but but I think that was right after.
Well, yeah, I actually had that picture to show for Maui, but my point is that nobody was crowding around.
Yeah.
Trying to get Joe Biden to take a picture, and so excited he was at the beach. And, how do people not know that he didn't win the election? It was so obvious. He didn't even campaign. He was campaigning in his basement.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Secret Service detail.
Yeah. Just one other thing that I want to talk about as far as the indictments is it was mentioned that they were rushed. So there were supposed to be witnesses that were scheduled to go in later. And how in our previous podcast we talked about the comparison of stuff about Joe, and then Trump's indicted the next day. It
was overlapping.
The news cycle, and it's almost like they were timed perfectly.
They were.
Exactly.
Totally coordinated.
What happened that people were all talking about and up in arms when Trump was indicted yesterday?
You're not talking about the fire. You're talking about the other FBI.
I'm talking about the fire.
Oh, you're talking about the fire. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there something else?
Well, what is it? McConaughey?
McConaughey?
Is that his name? Oh, geez, the FBI. He's okay. Let's not. That might not be how you pronounce his name, but yeah, the fire. I mean, I think that was on the 8th. It started on the 8th, but I don't know how long it burned. But it's pretty devastating.
Do you notice the timing of it? And they rushed it. So there were people who were scheduled to be witnesses this week, and they asked them to come in yesterday, and they waited all day yesterday to see if they were going to testify. They rushed the vote.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they rushed it for some reason. And isn't it strange that all 4 of these indictments all happened within a few months of each other, right during the presidential campaigns?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just been planned that way, and that they want it to start trial to start in January. That's what they would like in like they say 6 months, 6, 7 months,
Yeah.
which
And
is in
they
like the
probably
election year.
they want one to start in January, one to start in February, one to start in March. Because I know, like, I think one is starting in March and one in May, and it's like right in the heart of campaign season.
It's
So,
so obvious.
oh man, I want to show this. So I'm just going to copy the link because it's in my Telegram. Because I forgot about this one.
Okay.
John Rich, musician, he posted this. They think a 4th indictment can stop what is coming. Bitch, please. I just love that. It's not even a meme. It should be. But yeah, I like it. I like it.
I think some anons are going to make it a meme, but it's just adding fuel to the fire in the American people.
Yep.
You know, it's just pouring gasoline on it. And
yeah,
sorry, that was not a good pun, considering what we've just seen in Maui. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We should talk about Maui. And I don't even think I forgot to download some of the stuff I posted yesterday. So I might just talk through some of that. President Trump gave a statement, which was nice to talk to the people in Hawaii. And so that was nice. But then Biden, when he was asked about Maui, he was riding his bicycle and he's just like, we're on it. And then when he was on the beach, he was asked about it. That's when he said no comment.
Yeah. And there was another time he was getting into his car and he kind of smirked. He didn't say anything.
Yeah. And he laughed when he said no comment. So
no.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating. It's really upsetting. But the governor, I want to get right into this Governor Josh Green.
Okay, let's get into it. I've got the, do I have?
So about 4 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
he was talking about Hawaii being the first renewable energy state at this meeting. It was the UN Economic and Social Council meeting in New York. Did you see that?
No. So tell me more. Tell me more.
Then so they have mandated 100% renewable energy recently. And so there's all these things that kind of led up to the fire. So there was that. And then there was a contract last year that was signed to build high-rise condos and businesses in Lahaina.
Right where the heart of the fire was.
Which, was a historical town. Obviously, everybody knows. I remember I can't remember what song it is, but the Eagles even would sing about it. It's just so beautiful. And
what song by the Eagles?
I can't remember which one, but I just remember it's like you call a place paradise, kiss goodbye, because it was just so beautiful, I guess, when they discovered it back then. But so the thing about Lahaina was because it was a historical town, there was no new development to be done there. And the people, the Hawaiians that live there had their heels dug in. Okay.
Of course, yeah.
And so he's over there, the keynote speaker, talking about how they're going to be, doing, or they're going to be totally renewable. But then the year before, they have a contract already to build a development. And then just last month, on July 17th, the governor issued a proclamation declaring a housing emergency in order to address the housing crisis in Hawaii. And less than a month later, we have the fire, which it was the mayor, I believe, that called it a bomb fire. Did you see that in the press conference? A bomb fire. Your audio. I can't hear your audio.
Oh, I said, yes, yes. I saw that. And I, hang on one sec. I had myself muted because I was uploading another video. Sorry, but I have that video of that press conference, and I was listening to you.
Yeah.
Yes, the bomb.
Nobody
Should I
asked.
play that real quick?
Well, if you have that little clip
of the press conference with the governor.
Well, I mean, I just thought what was the most salient point was a bomb fire, and then he just kept talking. Did anyone even ask, what do you mean
There
by
was
that?
more than one salient point in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The other thing that he mentioned was rebuilding with new values. And let's just listen.
Oh, right. And then the climate change or yeah, go ahead.
Let's just listen and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
You said of the 89 souls lost, only 2 have been identified, or that's of the recent?
So of the 89, so realize this, we when we find these, you know, our family and our friends, the remains we're finding is through a fire that melted metal. We have to do rapid DNA to identify them. Every one of these 89 are John and Jane Does. And so when you are asking us, and we know we've got to get, and I love the way our House representative, how she said it, she was so eloquent. We know we've got to go quick, but we got to do it right. So when we pick up the remains and they fall apart, and so when you have 200 people running through the scene yesterday, and some of you, that's what you're stepping on. I don't know how much more you want me to describe it. That's what you're stepping on. Give us a little bit of time to contain that. Please. Because we've got to go make 89 notifications. And coming from a place that had to make 58, I understand the pain this is going to take. And we're not done with 89. So just understand what this thing is, because none of us really know the size of it yet. Everybody wants a number. You want it fast or you want it right? We're going to do it right.
Was that the wrong?
That was so inappropriate.
Was that the wrong clip? Did he talk about the bomb and the?
No, that was something else completely. But
oh, okay. Sorry,
I
thought I uploaded the right clip.
That's okay. You had a really busy day, but
that's just not great.
We're
Sorry
good.
about that.
But you know what's real? That police chief, I'm trying to get his name because he came from Las Vegas and he was there. I mean, here, is it a coincidence? But when there was the big Las Vegas shooting.
Yep, I posted about that yesterday. That was crazy. Like
John Pelletier. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anyway, it's just
and
so
I have
strange.
to give. Let me just say, I have to give Tommy Robinson News credit. I posted that yesterday evening, and yeah, he's the first one that I saw that posted about it, and then others. Like, oh my gosh, Truth Hammer was digging in. Hammer. And I was working all day, so I didn't get to see all of his stuff, but maybe we can talk about some of that too. But
well,
go ahead.
I remember a headline from that. And so all those things that I'd mentioned, right? And then he declares this housing emergency. And then on Monday, he announced his plans to acquire the land, okay, and block owners of the land from selling it to anybody out of state or for rebuilding for a long time.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
he called a moratorium is how he put it.
Yeah. So where are they going to live? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, but and he also has this Build Beyond Barriers. It's a 23-member panel that is aimed at finding ways to streamline development for the housing crisis. And this is what blows my mind. They've been granted the ability to approve housing projects and expedite it, and they've loosened the regulations, including environmental impact statements. Does that make any sense? We're going to be the first, renewable city, everything green, everything, but
yeah, I had heard some rumors, and I was digging to find out if it was true that BlackRock was trying to buy up a lot of that land.
I have heard that too.
Yeah. So,
but there is, back in 2018, if we go back a few years, the World Economic Forum, there was an article discussing Maui being the first smart city in the United States.
Interesting.
Okay, so I don't think,
not suspicious at all.
Right?
Not at all.
Yeah. So I think this bit has been in the plans for a long time. Personally,
it has been.
I mean, we know how they work. We've seen it, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, and also there are people who are saying like the media was lying because the media is reporting like how much damage and how many people actually perished. And actually, I will just, I've got a clip on that one too. So let me just hide this. This was just a tweet trying to take land away from our people before we've had a chance to grieve and rebuild is not Pono. I don't know what Pono means in Hawaii. And we will not stand for it.
Good.
If anybody knows what that means, if you could put it in chat.
How is it spelled there? I'm going to look it up.
Pono.
But think about it. I mean, how can they have the first renewable city in America? Like, don't they have to destroy a city first before they can do that? Where are they going to? Do you know what I'm saying? And then they talk about San Francisco and LA. Like, what are they going to do so that they have the space to build that 15-minute city? Is what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's all totally related to the Great Reset and their whole plans, the global agenda.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just go into chat real quick? In God We Trust 15 is Natalie Lynn, and she says, I'm an oldie but goodie. Hey, Natalie Lynn. Sorry, it's hard to remember like what people call themselves in Rumble versus in Telegram. Really good to see you, though. I love that everybody's chatting with us tonight. Yeah. Healthy one for you says Biden had Secret Service only to make sure someone shows up to take a photo. Oh my God, I'm cracking up. Don't make me laugh and then start crying. In God We Trust, Nellie says, I have to say I'm super comfy with all of this. Even Trump teased, bring on number 4. We are in control. Yep.
Yeah.
5 of Cube says to check Telegram. So I might have to check that while you talk about the other thing. But, oh, yes. In God We Trust, Biden. I actually have that clip. Guess what they're doing, what the federal government's doing for these victims who lost family and lost their homes. You want to take a guess?
You mean the $700?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play it.
FEMA also authorized one-time payments of $700 per household to folks who've been displaced, so they can do the immediate things of just taking care of medications and prescriptions that they so badly need.
So $24 billion to Ukraine, $700 to citizens.
Exactly. I have that comparison photo too. I do want to pull. Was it a video or a photo? One second. I do want to pull that up.
Okay. And by the way, Pono means being in perfect alignment and balance with all things in life.
Oh, okay.
To live with consciousness, to do right by oneself and others, the land, work, and the world in general.
Wow. Very powerful stuff. Was it? Oh, maybe was it one of your photos?
Oh, yeah, probably was.
Was
But it
it?
didn't have. Yeah, it's a meme that we're going to show at the end, I think.
Well, if it's a comparison, I want to shoot.
Okay.
Well, basically, oh no, it was a video, wasn't it? It was a video. I think this might be it.
I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth.
God, we need you now. That's what the next lyric in the song is. I love that song. Yes, God, we need you now. But yeah, that's quite a stark comparison to see what happened in Hawaii. You give people $700 one-time payment, and then we're sending billions to Ukraine.
That's just a slap in the face.
It is.
And we know that the money that goes to Ukraine doesn't even help Ukraine. It goes to the military
Industrial complex.
Yeah, it goes to the contractors to continue, with their war machine.
Exactly.
It's anyway, but there has been a lot coming from the residents. There's a media, but 5 that I'd like you to show. But what I have heard and read is that there are about 2,000 unaccounted for this morning. But then they said they found 700, but 1,300 are still missing.
But they're telling, I wanted to play that media's lying thing. They're telling people that they've only, there's only 100 people or.
It's absolutely not true. And the thing is also, they've only searched a quarter of the burn area.
This is just a picture. Was this supposed to be a video?
Yeah, it is.
It's not. What you sent me was a picture.
Uh-oh. Oops. Let me see.
Oopsie. Well, while we check for that, I will play the media's lying.
I live on Maui. The media is lying and or covering up the extent of the damage and the death count. I personally know people that are telling me that death and destruction is way worse than we're being told. I am witnessing the cover-up by the media firsthand.
Yeah, I've got a survivor story too. Should I play that? Well,
yeah,
we try to get that video.
I just sent it. It's from Twitter. I sent you the link.
Okay.
It was a firestorm. I know what. There was tornadoes of ash the size of charcoal from a barbecue, like being thrown by baseball players. I'm ducking behind walls. I had to kick in the door at Bubba Gump's to get out of it because I was getting pounded. And then Bubba Gump started on fire, and I'm running down Front Street, and the wall, there's like 80 people, and the ocean was on fire. Firefighter told me because the first layer of ash causes a seal. And then the next layer of ash was all the embers. So the tide line was on fire, and I had to jump through the water and come up through the fire. And 80 people, they were on the wall. Everybody started jumping in. Coast Guard was out there grabbing people. And I was like, no, I'm good. I was born in the water. I'm a Kai. And they're grabbing people, and I swam. I knew my phone was only good for like 15 seconds being submerged, then swam for like a half mile north. It was like nothing you've ever seen.
That's so sad. I mean, basically, The ocean was on fire, even the water. So people were trying to jump in the water. They had to jump into the flames that were on the water.
Yeah, it's it's just devastating.
Do you want to
And
reset up this video? I forget what it was. What was this one about?
is that the video? Did it work?
Well, I'm about to
Okay.
pull it up, but do you want to reset it up?
Just, a local.
I don't know. You sent me
Working? Oh
an
my
odd link. Let's see if there we go. Okay. Let me pause it. Let me make sure. I think my meeting. Will you guys comment in chat if you can hear the audio when I start playing this, or if you cannot? Either way, somebody post yes or no.
So today we're going to talk about some updates on the Hawaiian fire situation. Now, I want you to look at this guy's page, go to his Instagram and follow him. He's talking about how people are trying to bring in supplies such as water, food, and gas, and they are being turned away. The military is turning away people from helping, and he was talking about this on his page. Now, if we take it a step further, the governor was asked, why didn't the system go off when the fires were happening? And he was basically saying it must have been a malfunction. But what's interesting is a person commented, the siren sounds went off when there was no tsunami, but the sound when an actual burning fire disaster, it doesn't occur. What's also interesting about the governor was he passed this executive order just before this in July, which could take away the land from the people based on if they need to rezone. There's also a lady who has mentioned how the Red Cross has had hundreds of millions of donations from all these celebrities, but they don't have any security and they're having to move the people out who have lost everything. So then we look at this lady's work and we can see that this looks like a land grab. If all of these politicians and celebrities really cared, why aren't they talking about this legislation? This legislation was something that was proposed on January 5th of 2023 of 51 acres in the same area of the fire would be turned into a housing project. Interesting. Now, what's also interesting is this follows the Agenda 2030 plan as well. So we really have to ask, was this just what the media reported or something planned?
I've been in the industry of people losing their homes due to fire, flood, monster emergency services. But I need you guys to hear me out. You don't see what's going on. I feel something is bigger. I've been on Maui the last 9 years, and I know the geographical location and how everything works. There was no fucking way that a hurricane missed Big Island, went to Maui, and didn't flood them, didn't give them, crazy, other things, but it caused fires. It caused fires in not only on Maui, but it caused fires in the most precious parts of real estate in Maui. Lahaina Front Street is worth billions. The Hawaiians that have been holding out and the Kanaka have been holding out for years, not wanting to sell their property in Lahaina due to these big $1 million companies. It is not a coincidence, I don't believe, how in the most precious parts of Maui, Kula, Lahaina, and Kihei, that the locals that are standing strong and do not want to give up Oprah Winfrey's fucking view up in Kula that the Hawaiians are holding out on, that the fire was going to, the Hawaiians and the Kanaka that was holding right there on Front Street.
Yeah. I mean, that was very succinct video to kind of describe some of that stuff. He mentioned Oprah, so I'm going to pull this up. So she bought 870 acres. I don't know if you remember Mark Zuckerberg, but not on Maui, but he bought a ton of land in Hawaii, and it was a big deal. And they were, complaining about him buying all that land. And they have 200,000 acres that they can give Hawaiian natives that they pay $1 and they get it for like 99 years or something like that. And there's 30,000 people on the waiting list. How is that possible? Because they haven't given all that land away that they have put aside for the native people. So big stuff's going on here. It's
It is
really
so big. And the thing about Oprah, 870 acres for $6.6 million.
How can
No,
you
wait,
can't
no.
on prime real estate?
It's
Maui?
impossible because, I mean, years ago, I was looking at real estate thinking, oh, it'd be so nice to have a place in Hawaii or Kauai. It's like a little tiny little house, $1 million, like
Yes.
not a shack, but like
Right. Right.
it's all you need at the beach though, right? I mean, there's no way. So yeah.
Yeah.
And
there are shenanigans going on. I think we need to keep our eyes on. I want to see if there's anything else I forgot. I wasn't able to get through. Oh, go ahead.
He mentioned the alarm system, and the warning system did not go off for the fire, but they test it every month because I mean the volcanoes. Why didn't it go off?
Right. And so they warned them too late, and they warned them for winds, not for fire. And it's the hurricane winds, no rain, no storm surge.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on there?
And the fire took out the infrastructure that was that they would have needed to communicate with their cell phones. So that just was that a target? And now it's so hard to find what's really going on there in the media, obviously. That's why I've relied on a lot of people that are in the indigenous people there. But I heard that school was canceled and that the kids were home.
They sent the kids home
because of the winds and
because
their parents.
of the winds. Yes.
Okay, so the parents weren't there, and they're suggesting, and I hate to even say it, but that a lot of the deceased are going to be children. So
I know
it's
a lot of them. I'm not going to play this video because it's super long. It's like 4 minutes, but I played a heartbreaking video, posted it yesterday with this woman talking about how investors are already on the prowl, contacting these people. They're all warning each other on Facebook to not talk to any real estate investors, developers, anything like that. But not only are investors, the government's on the prowl too. And that was what we talked about earlier. So I played the wrong clip, but I just kind of wanted to call that out. Yeah. And Anonymous posted that John Pelletier, okay, he is
the police chief.
He's the police chief who used to be in Vegas, and he was in Vegas, just so happens to be in Vegas, which we already talked about for the 2017 mass shooting that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. How not the police chief there, but he was the main, I don't know if it was a responder or he was incident response person. He was one of the incident response people.
And they just moved him to Maui very recently.
Yeah. So 2022. So John Pelletier, this is from Anonymous. Maybe I won't. And he gave Vuja Day credit for it, which is I don't think he's in chat tonight.
No.
But, John Pelletier is part of the Jameson Fellowship, and Dr. Gard Jameson, who's a part of that, will be among the many speakers at an event called Parliament of the World's Religions being held in Chicago this week.
Mm-hmm.
And the speakers at this event are called featured luminaries.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Right?
Luminaries.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So they're enlightened.
Yes. I posted this on Telegram last night.
Mm-hmm.
Or forwarded it from Anonymous. I thought that was pretty interesting. So there's some shenanigans. I feel like we need to really dig into what's going on in Maui. I do want to find the BlackRock stuff
More is going to come out for sure.
Yeah, I ran out of time to be able to dig last night. I mean,
that's okay. We changed courses, like, this morning. But there is something else that I heard from a local, that the fire department actually left before it was completely contained, because they had like 70-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes, I heard that too.
Yeah, and so it just kept raging. And is it normal for that fire to melt metal like that, like he said, the fire chief?
I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that it was a fire like that. Like, how?
Okay,
How is
well,
that possible? Are they saying how the fire supposedly started? Are they saying that?
Well, they mentioned arson, but I'm with Mike in chat that it was a direct energy weapon. And a lot of people are saying that. I don't think it was arson. That kind of heat. Remember Paradise, California? Same thing.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest question, is how did those fires start?
Now that is a good question worth pondering.
Yeah. Are they going to actually try to? Pardon?
I'm sorry. I had to play that once tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so nerdy.
I love it. It'll be interesting. Are they even looking for it? Are they talking about it? How did it start?
Right. I think that is the biggest question. And who are the players involved, and what's their background, and who do they know? Who are they connected to? They always say, follow the money, follow the wives, and follow the money, right? So I think a lot more is going to come out about that.
I agree. We just have to be patient and wait. But it really is just so devastating. And
it is.
If it is what we're thinking, a direct energy weapon, and with all the pieces that we've just looked at that make it look very planned, that they needed to destroy it in order to make it their 15-minute city.
Yeah.
It's just unspeakable evil.
It is. It's pure evil. I mean, that means they're willing to, harm people in order to get their agenda, which we know that.
Well, yeah, look at the war machine, but even doing the dig on the Illuminati and the satanic, bloodlines as well, that they intermarry, part of how they see their movement to the New World Order is, by any means, and so
it's totally sick.
They have no regard for human life except their own.
None.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the survivors are saying Maui is not for sale.
I hope they fight. I really do.
I really do too.
I mean, I hope all of the islands just come together.
Yeah. Yep, I hope so too. So I don't think I have anything else on the Maui stuff. I think there's a lot of interesting dots that are being connected. I do. Oh, I guess I have one more thing. Like well, I don't know a lot about this, so I'm not going to speak to it. Sorry. It's just about the governor complaining about a senator who was trying to stop some shenanigans, and I need to look into it more, and then I'll post about it. So.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah. I had, I think it was Vigilant Fox. I got some statistics in my final thoughts about what's going on here and the money, in America, and how our president is just sending billions to Ukraine. Okay, so
wait, are your final thoughts related to Maui, or should we do the meme stuff first?
Oh, well, we could do the meme stuff after this, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just really sad what's going on. The U.S. government increased financial contributions to Ukraine now by 113 billion total, and cut food stamps for 30 million Americans. the Fed printed $300 billion to cover bank failures. 15 million Americans have been removed.
Was that this year, the 300 billion? Or when? Over what period of time?
Well, since I don't have that. I don't know if it's this year. It might be, I mean, because it's only been not even 8 months. But it's recent.
Okay.
Okay. I should have found that out. Sorry. 15 million Americans have been removed from welfare, 4 million taken off Medicare. And then, of course, we're all experiencing the inflation and rising food prices. And they say that the average wage is now $5,000 less than the cost of basic necessities. And the credit card debt is surpassed 1.1 trillion. And anyway.
Yeah, it's so obvious when you look at all this from the 40,000-foot view.
Yeah.
You can see what's happening.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. So, but let's end on a positive note. I mean, we do know God is in control. It looks, I mean, these are horrible things that with Hawaii, we have, you know, as a nation, we're mourning. I am. I mean, it's just.
Absolutely.
You know?
And, you know, Trump comes out with a video statement, prayers for the families and giving his condolences. And we didn't see that from the resident. I refuse to call him.
I know. I think I may have called him president. He's the resident. It's
yeah.
I agree.
So, well, you know what's interesting? So that's funny that we just said that because and this is not even related to Maui or the election or the indictments. But okay. So Biden's press secretary accidentally posted on her own Twitter something she was supposed to post on Biden's Twitter. We knew he wasn't writing his own tweets.
And then she deleted it, right?
And then she deleted it.
Yeah.
And the post millennial says, "Uh-oh, KJP accidentally posted a Biden post from her account."
That's something I might do, you know. It shouldn't. She shouldn't be making a mistake like anyway. It's funny.
Yeah, and one of the things I wanted to close with, because this could potentially be, I don't know. What do you think about this news? There's a Georgia law that permits an appointed panel to remove rogue prosecutors. That could either be bad or it could be good. And I'm on the fence because, I mean, I feel like there needs to be a way to get rid of rogue prosecutors, but I think it needs to be through the people rather than a panel. Because who gets to choose who's on the panel?
That's my question. Do you know? Do we know?
I just saw this before the show started. I'm like,
I did too, very briefly. I didn't read the whole thing.
Right. So I'm kind of curious. I'm not going to read this article to you guys. I'm just scanning through it to see if I can see quick how they decide. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. I want to learn more about this. It's like, because this woman here needs to go. Like, she campaigned on saying she's going to get Trump, just like the one in New York.
Yeah. And Jack Smith. And I mean, a whole slew of them. And what's the other one? I can't remember his name. But yeah, that's what.
Like Alvin Bragg?
I think so, yeah. And there's another one too. But anyway, there's a lot. And they campaigned on it. And it's very obvious. And so something has to be done. When you say, you know, it should be from the people, I'm not sure how we can do that. I think things really need to.
It depends on how the panel is selected.
Yeah.
Who chooses who's on the panel? Would that be the governor? Would that be, you get 3 people from Republicans on the legislation, you know, the state legislators, and 3 Democrats? Like, who decides?
Well, right now, it probably wouldn't be because of who's in control and who has power there right now. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
A little more into that.
So should we totally end it on a light? Before we end it on a light note, because we got to show you some memes. I think one in particular broke the internet this week, but yeah, there's a lot. I just want to comment and let me show our social media. So here's where you can find us on social media. I also want to make a quick comment. I commented on Brave Books last time and I posted about it on my Telegram channel. So if you buy a book from Brave Books and you put in Nevs as your code, I don't get any money for that, just so you know. You get 15% off. It is an affiliate program though. The only thing that I would get is if somebody signed up for a book club. I'd probably get like a tiny 10 or 15 bucks. I don't even remember what it was. It's just tiny. I just really believe in, so buy the books. I'm not pushing them because I'm getting anything out of it. You get 15% off, but buy the books because they are wholesome and an alternative for kids. So I just wanted to clarify what that is.
I love that you started that. I mean, we have to vote with our
I
dollars.
want to find more products like that, alternative products that we can go to, especially for kids, because the kids are like, they're after our kids.
They're being exposed to stuff that no child should.
Right. Movies. I want to, movies, music, entertainment, products like clothing stores. If you guys know of any, let me know. You can put it on Telegram in my chat or Truth Social. Just reply to me, or Twitter, because I want to put out there more. Just highlight those companies if I can. So anyway, should we get into memes?
Yeah.
So our last segment is memes of the week. I know I've got one pulled up that did you have more than one? Because I need to get I don't know if I got them all pulled up.
Oh, let's see what
Here, I'll share my screen, and I just want to make it a little bigger. Your borders, your streets, your stores, and your president. You know what I love about memes? Some of them are funny, and some of them just explain truthful things in such a succinct way.
Yeah. And then it imprints on your mind.
And it totally imprints on your mind. Yeah. Totally. I don't know that I'll play all of these, but the one that broke the internet is a template meme.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows the ridiculousness of all the indictments. And I uploaded 20 different versions of this meme, but I'm not going to show all 20, but I
No,
I'm going to shrink this other one down. Keep
only
it up.
19?
Huh?
Only 19?
Well, it's so hilarious.
Okay, let's see.
It kind of illustrates the ridiculousness of the indictments. So they're indicting President Trump for everything. So I'll play a few of these. I think they're fun.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
Okay, Corral. They blame Trump for everything. Gosh, I should have pulled that up. I had a meme or something about them blaming Trump for everything.
Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
Oh, so he's being indicted for removing a tag from a mattress. I'm just repeating what these are because in case you guys couldn't read them fast enough.
Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
Oh my gosh, he snuck his candy into the movies. He needs to be indicted for that. I was cracking up at all these. There's a million of them. Maybe I'll play one more.
Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
So people are clever. Let me do the Blockbuster one.
Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
He didn't return his movie.
He didn't rewind his movie.
Oh man, I had so many of those, and I just I had to play those.
So good.
Oh, I do have another one actually.
Okay.
I'm just adding my browser to the stream, so we aren't like showing weird. This one is not even related to what we talked about tonight, but I kind of loved it because Ronald Reagan had quick comebacks with people when he was president.
Uh-huh.
Mr. President, in talking about the continuing recession tonight, you have blamed mistakes of the past, and you have blamed the Congress. Does any of the blame belong to you?
Yes, because for many years I was a Democrat.
I kind of liked that one.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know if I pulled up more. I mean, I had so many, but I think that's probably enough.
Well, there was one that had all of the past living presidents.
Oh, did you send that one to me?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, okay.
One of
I'm
them
gonna pull it. No, I'm gonna
has-
pull it up. I've got it.
One of
I
them has
got
died.
it. No, I got it.
It says a lot.
Okay, so let me just pull that one up real quick. And we'll add it to the stream. Now, one living ex-president supports Trump. This confirms that we voted for the right president. Absolutely. And
Yep.
this is not about Republican versus Democrat. This is about the uniparty. It's
We are
both.
seeing that more now than ever. I mean, I actually used to think, we had a choice. I think we all did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. This says a lot with just one
Mhm.
picture. That is so true. Wow.
I don't know if there's, who supports him other than, the America First. in
The
Congress.
people. And that's all that's
Other than
important.
the people, like
Mhm.
nobody in government, that tells you everything that we need to know.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed chatting with all of you tonight. Thanks for all the comments in chat. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm just looking at everything.
Yeah, should we get? Is there anything else?
Well, a healthy one for you is saying that the emergency responder resources were withheld as the fires raged. Local schools were canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, those emergency responders.
Was that on purpose? I don't know. It's like I don't want to think that, but was it?
I know there's so many suspicious things that happened, and
with the children at home.
coincidences. How many coincidences before it's too many? Before it's mathematically impossible, right?
Right.
So
yeah,
I do think that we need to do more digging on that and find out more information so we can find the truth. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We want to find the truth.
We can do an update. We could do an update next week. But Natalie in chat says there's no regard for human life or animal, and I actually saw some things I wish I hadn't seen in a video. Just
I heard descriptions of things I didn't want to hear about.
Think about the vegetation too.
Mhm.
All the animals, whether there are the domesticated pets, dogs.
Yeah.
Cats,
Let's not talk about that.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I just know a couple of people who do join us are very sensitive and don't want to hear that kind of stuff. So,
well, me too. I was really.
Oh.
We.
No, I just don't.
I've been really upset today, but.
Oh, I know it's so.
Everybody is. It's just.
Well, and that's our compassion and empathy. We have to keep that strong and safe, and yeah, there were some things I wanted to cover tonight, but I didn't have enough time to prep them up. But maybe next time, just about the times we're in, and some interesting coincidences with, not coincidences, but interesting things that are happening that actually were prophesied in the Bible. And I kind of want to talk about that. Maybe, maybe we should, I don't know, should we do another Saturday show? I don't know.
That was fun.
Yeah, we might have to have another Coffee and Conspiracies. I'll let you guys know if we decide to do that, because that was fun. And I
really
like just
was.
being relaxed and not having to prep anything, just chatting about what's off the top of our heads. Oh, we've got a comment on YouTube. Big hugs, Carrie. It's horrible. God is good all the time with
Aw.
prayer. Thank you, Malaya.
Thank you, Malaya.
So sweet.
Mm.
Will you guys do us a favor and like tell people you know about the podcast and like it and subscribe? And if you like the video and subscribe, it kind of gives us a little more oomph especially on Rumble. I would love it if you would share, if you enjoy it, of course, just if you could consider doing that. So
Yeah.
and
Appreciate
yeah, it was fun. I love it when people are chatty. I like seeing what people are saying or what their thoughts are too. So we want you to be included.
Thanks for sharing, everyone.
Yeah,
Great comments.
it was. It was a fun show tonight. So, all right, guys, have a good night, and you too,
Great
Carrie.
night,
Have a good
everyone.
night.
You
All
too,
right.
Nevs.
Bye.
Bye.
I can see clearly